Hello and welcome back to the message from your guide. And today I'm recording it on the first quarter moon period in January. And in terms of the calendar year, today is January 18, 2024. So before we start, I just want to share you what I did a couple days ago. Um, for those who don't know me, well, I'm Karen Kartika, and I am a transformational coach, energy healer, or holistic healer. I'm also a channeler or a psychic reader. And I live in Los Angeles, California, in the US, but right now, and I'm sure you also can catch from my accent, I'm an Indonesian, so I'm right now in Indonesia, in Jakarta, visiting family. But I just came back from Bali, and when I was there a couple days ago, I did a blessing ritual known in the Hindu religion as Melukat, or the holy water blessings. And I just want to show you a few pictures. So I hope you enjoy. So let me share the screen. This is the first one. This is where we were having the water blessings. There's a little waterfall right there. You can see a few people who are there. And on the left sides are me and my father and my mother and the Hindu priestess who led us through the ceremony. It was such a beautiful day. We were up in northern Bali and the temperature was so cool. Um, and it was a little bit kind of a surprise. We didn't really plan. Not like a long time planning. It was more kind of like I wanted to do the blessing, but I wasn't so sure that my parents would join me. And then I have to figure out how to split the time, and so on and so forth. And I also needed to know if my friend, who's the Hindu high priestess, was available to lead the blessing. And within 24 hours, it's the mention of my intention to have this blessing, especially in the beginning of the year like this. I contacted the high priestess, and she wasn't so sure. She had to check her schedule because she already have a client coming in. Um, and I was really I was just throwing that idea and thinking like, well, maybe if my parents would not join me for the border blessings because of some I guess I'm just gonna put it this way. They're Catholic, they're Christians, so they're a bit reluctant trying, wanting to join ceremony or rituals like this, especially from a different religion. I personally am more spiritual, so I don't really see, and religions like Hinduisms are open for other religious belief to take part in the ritual. So 24 hours, 12 hours, I wasn't even still sure it was going to happen. But somehow through the hands of God, I guess that the opportunity just happened to be available in like maybe um less than 12 hours when finally the high priestess said, you know what, I'm going to rearrange my schedule so that I can see you today. Um, and I told my parents about it, and they surprisingly said, yes, I would join you. And for me, this was also a coming out as a spiritual person to allow my parents to see who I am, to allow my parents to see my world that is absolutely different from their world, their beliefs, the way that they see the world. In the rituals that I do, the energy healing that I do, they say like, what actually do you do when you do energy healing? And there's so many questions that I can't really answer, even though I have secretly done, not secretly, but per their request, have done energy healing to them. But again, this we're talking about the unseen world. Um, and in some part of countries or traditions, the unseen world can be assumed as the dark matter or the dark world. Um, So I was a little bit scared and skeptical about whether or not my parents would be able to, you know, to be present through the whole ritual. And plus, I'm going to show you where it is taking place. I know this is probably not the best picture, but let me see if I can open my photos here. Bear with me for a second. So this is our first stop of where we were. You probably will not be able to hear the noise in the background, but there's like a little waterfall. Well, you see the area where we were doing the ceremony. That was a waterfall there that kind of gave you a background, but you can see that this place, we were up in the mountain, almost kind of like in the middle of the jungle. And what the high priestess also warned me, there are 300 steps going down and going up. My parents are 74 and 76, and my mom always have trouble climb, not trouble, but old age, sometimes you get aches in in their legs, especially if you're walking too far or you're coming up and down the stairs. But I didn't really tell my parents that. I just said, hey, let's just go here. And in that place, in the first stop, my mom gave me that stern look. I'm like, what the hell are you making me do? Because by then we were already down about maybe 100 steps. It's like, are we gonna go down even more? And are we gonna climb up when we finish from this whole thing? I was like petrified by then, but I have faith. I have faith because when we're doing this work and you hold each other's in the highest or the perfect health, their perfect body, their perfect ability. Because sometimes we are in our mind, tell ourselves that we have limits to what we can do, what we can achieve, our body, especially with the aging body. We somewhat are conditioned to believe that the body will not be able to sustain certain strength, certain way of doing things. And yeah, there are part of us that do need to accept that our body not might, but our body are going through changes. However, when we believe that the body can heal, when we believe the body has the strength, I'm going to show you, well, I'm not going to show you, there's no picture here, but at the end of this whole thing, well, I'm just going to show you the pretty picture after that. Before that, I'm going to show you some other picture. This is during the ceremony. And my Catholic mom was so open to actually doing the ceremony, which surprised me. And then this is the waterfall. This is me inside of the waterfall. Let me show you there. Right. And it's just such a joy being inside of the water. It feels like all the weights on the shoulders are being washed away. It's just a most amazing feeling to have. And then let me show you the after picture where everybody gathered. And it was such a joy to be able to see everybody's smiling faces, and including my own mom, who was giving me that stern look of asking me, what the hell did you just make me do? Let me show it to you. There you go. Ta-da! All of us together after the whole ceremony. And yeah, it's just seeing their happy faces, and it's just the power of healing coming from the water, the freshness coming out of the water, and just the freshness of the air surrounding this sacred temple, this sacred, not temple, yeah, there's a temple there, but more so like this is like a sacred holy land where it's like a area where everybody's just going there for prayer. Everybody is there is invoking the generosities of the spirits of the higher realm gods or whoever that you call them, to bless us with the healing power, the ability of being able to draw in all the answers needed, all periods of giving thanks. Um, Throughout the blessings, the high priestess always opened the prayer with giving thanks for everything. I mean, being able to bring my parents, being able to have the healthy body to be there, you know, um, in real life, which has been kind of in the back of my mind, wanting to do this, everything that all the efforts, all the synchronicity that brought us together and being able to do and perform that rituals. I think the ritual itself probably is not as important as me being with my parents in this beautiful space inside of a jungle where the air is super clean and the water is super crisp and surrounded by prayers of giving thanks, of chanting and invoking the higher realms, the spirits, holy spirits, um, sacred guides, and being able to be in that presence of the higher vibration. That was something that I give thanks to. And it was such a precious moment to just being able to be in the water with my parents and holding hands. At one point, we are like trying to like, okay, we're going through this because there's a current underneath the that even though it looks kind of like it's a small waterfall or lake, but there's still current underneath that we're kind of like, and then of course there's some rocks in the bottom that makes it a little bit slippery and hard to find groundings. But us together and experience something that melt my heart in that moment. So anyway, I'm sharing you that today because I understand that this week, especially after seeing the cards, that and especially coming back, I had to hear a very bad news coming from one of my best friends. Not everyone is as lucky as I was. My experiences the last few days, and that makes my heart even more grateful. But that also didn't really push aside this feeling of wanting to also say, you got this, whatever it is that you're going through, you're not going through this alone. And there are guides, there are helps out there wanting to help you. And however painful this time is for you, however confusing, and whatever other emotions that arise, guilt, disappointment, maybe you felt like you haven't done enough, or regrets of something that you wish you would have taken back, whether it's times, words, thoughts. Know that as hard as it is, you are being guided, you are being supported. What's being asked for you or are inviting you to do is to connect. And I hope today's guide's message reminds you of that you're not alone, that you're supported, that the works are in front of you are something that you also may have to focus yourself. And despite whatever is life throwing at you at this moment, hold still to that goal of what it is that you want your life to be, or who you want to be, or how this life is unfolding right in front of you. Hold that focus. What you have given intention of 2024 to be, what you give intention of maybe your New Year's resolution, whatever it is, hold that dearly, strongly. Still give time to unravel through your emotions, through what it is that needs to be unraveled. But don't let the weariness, the anxiety, the other all turmoils of emotions sway you or throw you off from holding that goal, whatever that is. know that you are fully being supported. If you have a ritual of prayers, meditation, I would invite you to do that more often than not through this time, to invoke the spirits, to let all the supports that you need, the strength that you need to still be present for you yourself, to be present and be able to continue holding and manifesting what it is that you want this year and beyond. All right, before further ado, let's go with card number one. Again, as what I did last time, I'm going to hold the back of the card and tune into the card. Pick one card, two cards, or maybe this whole three cards are your message today. Here's the first one, card number one. Close your eyes and breathe, tuning in to any feelings in the body, any emotions that arise, any thoughts that forms words. Keep breathing, keep getting still, and tune in. So that's card number one. Card number two. Again, tune in, feel the cards, notice what you feel in the body, visuals that you receive, words that you receive, anything. Wonderful. And then card number three. Again, keep breathing, keep tuning in. Notice where it lands in your body, any words, symbols, visions that arrived. Yay! All right, let's do the reading, shall we? Okay, I'm gonna open my cheat sheet as well, because I noticed that when I don't have my cheat sheets, I tend to blabber. Okay, this is card number one. Hope you can see it. Ooh, that's kind of shiny. So it has a bee. Bee for me, especially with all the pastel-y color, bee is always a reminder of joy. Whenever I see bees, it's almost kind of like my spirit guides telling me, hey, don't forget to connect to your joy. And this card has the reading, it's representing benevolent guide. One of my mentor has this oil that said, my guides, that my joyful guide. So for me, the benevolent guide is also, especially with the bee on it, is the guide that's always there to remind you that everything is going to be okay. That the message is always, I know it's always kind of like there's a contradictions in saying stuff, everything's going to be okay, especially when you're going through something that's so difficult to process. But this guide wants to remind you that it's always there for you. It is that whisper of encouragement, empowerment that wants to support you, that seeing this card or choosing this card means that it is reminding you to connect to your guide. That guide can be Holy Spirit, your ancestors, your ascended masters like Jesus Christ, or the Muhammad, or God, the ultimate guide of the universe, God, the single source of everything. It wants you to know that you are fully supported in whatever it is that you're going through. And it has the number 57. So 57, 5 plus 7 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. Is that Trinity of the ultimate Trinity of God, Son, and Holy Spirit. In the Kabbalah, it's the the nothingness, where the ultimate source, and the female and the male energy. So this is really a strong spiritual card, especially wants to support you if you're feeling that you're alone in this journey, that you're doubting yourself and on your path. To, again, like what my message before, don't let those feelings trap you into not doing your work, to not stay on your path, to unravel, let go of all your works up to today. Because all of that is just gonna bring you to more restlessness, discontent, and more challenges on your path. Instead, connect to the guide that's been waiting for you to be recognized, the unconditional love, the one that wants to support you 100%. And let me see what else the message here. That now is not the time for you to struggle, to fear. Instead, really use this time to up your rituals, your meditation, your prayer, your give thanks, so that you can connect even deeper with your benevolent guide. And when you are choosing with the help of your guides, there's never going to be a wrong choice. So tune in, lean in to their encouragement, to their love messages. Get really deep in your connection with them. At any moment, whenever you're feeling your mind is troubling you, give thanks to your guide, connect to your guide, and ask for their strength, ask them for their empowering messages, and even ask for the answers. Again, it's not going to be a wrong choice when you trust and believe in and lean in to this guide. Again, this is the benevolent guide. You know that their message will always be of love, of joy, never negative. That's the differentiation. There's no pain, suffering, doubts. It's always firm in the unconditional love, in love and in joy, the highest form of love and joy. Okay? And when you're there, you know that you are in a different realm because your vibration will be so different. I cannot even express the feeling of being in the high vibrations. And I guess for you who are sensitive to energy, the way to maybe shift your energy into the higher vibration to also in communion with nature, like I did in Bali. It was such an amazing time because living in a big city like Jakarta, where things are always buzzing with so many crisscross of energy, being just out in nature and reconnecting to that spirit world, it's just something to be grateful for. And especially during this time. Okay, second card. It is the moon or the Luna. Okay, so this is numerology 2. You can see it here. Now I can see. Lord, these glasses, you never appreciate it until you're starting to, not being able to read in the close distance. I'm just revealing my age, I know. So the moon is the mother energy. It's always so mystical. I love working with the moon because the moon will always tell us that we're in transitions. There's nothing permanent about us, that things are always changing. Today is the first quarter of the moon. After the new moon, which is the dark moon, where the moon is not shown in the sky, and now it's kind of halfway to now showing its fullest face in the next week, 10 days. So this period in the transition, it's when it was dark and now it's showing its face. So it's very like pushing, very yang, very masculine energy, because I want to show up. So here we are during this time. Now, again, it's just a transitionary time, right? And we all have this time to push our best feet forward, to do whatever it takes to stay on the path. And in a very female, I know this is kind of like polarizing, right? Because moon is very feminine and reflective, but this phase of the moon is that goddess warrior energy of, yes, I'm becoming at the same time. I'm not going to mess around and not making this happen, right? This is a card to also be in a reflective mode, take a pause within actions, taking a pause within words, taking a pause within decisions to make sure and restore your integrity. That this is calling forward you doing your spiritual practice. Just like the first card, this card is also asking you to really deepen your practice so that you can be in that mode of receiving every message you need to continue be able to focus on your path, to be able to continue holding within you through all these changes, through this transitionary time, whatever it is that you hold true within yourself and what you want to see manifest. Because within a few days, things are going to come full circle. With the full moon, everything is, the energy is at its peak to fully give you the push to manifest. So this is again holding yourself in the practice, in your spiritual practice, to focus, to continue focusing on your work, on holding that space for things to manifest. Now, what transpires today might not be understood within a few months ahead. So if you are noticing that you're going through some challenges, or that you're feeling like, well, what I was holding for feels like being destroyed, which I'm gonna show you what happened in the card number 3. If you happen to choose card number 3 as well, or if you're choosing to use today's reading to, through hold the whole 3 cards. This card is for you to understand that during this time, effort is needed for you to stay true, hold the work together within yourself, that you're still in the right path no matter what, and follow the strength that comes from within, not something that you're trying to achieve from outside. But again, this is, again, with the moon, is always reflection time as well, reflecting back what it is that you're feeling inside and finding strength within. I'm gonna put the spiritual meaning, the link to the spiritual meaning for the first quarter moon here, because this card might also invite you to notice what this first quarter moon means to you, and will give you probably a more in-depth understanding of what it is that this card wants to remind you today. Okay, that link will be on the description below. And card number 3, separations. And I like the 2 dove here, because the dove always represent Holy Spirit. So this is a very sacred process. It's a holy process, and it does come from fire, because this is a process when anything is being split, whether it's into 2 to 4, or like how many, how many ways it's being split. This is a very hard card. It's a process in the alchemy where things are being separated for the highest form and highest good. And in the spiritual world, in the spiritual, especially if you're in the spiritual journey, this is probably the hardest time, where things are breaking apart. Whether it's willingly, unwillingly, whether this is a culmination process that's already happening to you, that's kind of like a slow burn, or this is something that just recently happened to you, whether it's a breakup, a divorce, contracts falling apart, a bomb just, hit your house, it's a sword, a knife that cut you. This is not an easy card or not an experience to have. This could also happen in your mind, in your mental, maybe a job loss, or you leaving a job, or you seeing that certain labels, titles, language or words, stereotypes no longer work for you, that you decided that I chose not to use these titles anymore, that I choose not to see things like using stereotypes to judge myself or judge others, leaving behind words that no longer resonating with you. And during the splitting apart of all this identity creations or meanings that you used to hold dear, or you used to use to describe who you are, to identify who you are, meaning that you are detaching or separating yourself from that. Now, I said that this is not a really easy card, and I sympathize with you who are going through this today, or in your journey right now. That what transpired today, just like the message from the moon or Luna, that it might not be understood today, and it might not transpire right away what it means to you. You might not be able to grasp the meaning right away. It might take months or even years for some people to understand what you just experienced. It's that heartbreaking and that painful of a process. In the good news of it, on the opposite end of this whole experience of the journey, of the awakening journey, is the union with your truest potential, the union of the unconditional love, the union with who you are, truly who you are, in a level that cannot be comprehended with human consciousness. It's the conjunctions of the highest form of love, the highest form of potentials, possibilities. This is a union with the quantum field, where things that you didn't believe could happen before will happen. Maybe through this separation, you will land yourself in the dream job that you have been dreaming of, or a dream relationship with the perfect partner that you've been dreaming of, or maybe the wealth abundance that you've been wishing for. It's coming, it's manifesting with ease, or the purest form of love of all, or that purest love of self that you never understand, that you are finally able to give yourself, can finally manifest. And I truly believe when you are in that place of unconditional love to yourself, that love itself will just overflown to people around you, to everyone that you meet, that you start to see that just your presence alone give abundance, give love to others. And that is the ultimate level of when this kind of things happen, that one can maybe see themselves or feel themselves to be in, to hold dearly to that image or that belief. I guess this is why I was saying earlier in the reading, to really hold dear your goals, your intention for 2024, what it is that you want to see your life to manifest, the things that you've been desiring, the things that you've been holding dear. Is like every year, like, I want this to happen. And maybe the time has not ripened to up to this point that you are experiencing these separations or separatio process, that finally things are going to come on its own time, falling into place beautifully, effortlessly for you because of this process. So I'm really intending for you to stay strong. I'm intending for you to reach out for your benevolent guides, to your spirits, to God, to really pray during this time and hold that intention to manifest, to not be swayed to things that are happening to you, left or right, that you are starting to question your own beliefs, that am I really choosing the right things here? Am I believing in the right things for me to hold dear here? Because it does not feel like things are making sense. That feels like breaking apart and breaking down instead of putting together. But I'm going to really hold this dear to you. I hope this message goes through you beautifully, strongly, knowing that you are fully supported, that this is the ripe time. And with all my heart, I'm blessing you with the strength to stay positive, optimist, fully, truly connected to your benevolent guides, believing that everything is possible. Everything is possible, that you are being guided in this journey, that this journey is not a wrong journey, that you are on the right path. If it is confusing, if you need any help, find the help, find the mentors who can give you clarity. If you do need to make the shift because this is the right time, it's a ripening time to make that decision, to fully connect it, to fully embrace who you are, to fully connect it to your unconditional love to yourself, the highest unconditional love of God. That is what is truly matter, is love. There's nothing else out there but love. So I really am holding the space for you to stay strong, fully in blessing of the highest love. And with that, I think that's the reading for today. Take what resonate with you, leave behind what doesn't. This is something that I really want to impart to all of you. Choose to be in connection with your wisdom, because I trust that you know what is best for you. I trust that you have the power to create whatever it is that you want to create in this world. And I trust that you have come to this earth, this world, fully guided and fully equipped, and your highest wisdom, the answer that you've been looking for, the guidance that you need, the strength that you need is already in you. All you need to do is restore that within yourself. And if you ever need helps, I'm here to help you. And I'm sure there are others who you can resonate even higher to help guide you through this time, in this wonderful time of awakening, of truly owning who you are and truly manifest and express who you truly are. All right, that's it from me today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.